Guys, this is a 2-pill 454 without a variable. I don't think I've done one of these before with no variable on it. This one's for Mr. J.E. He actually just bought this one yesterday. I have one more of these available. If you like the way this one runs, I have one more in stock. First, we're going to drive it with the Connex, and we're going to be hitting it on low power. It does about 15, 16 watts average. Still does about 50 PEP. That's the ballpark I'd recommend putting into one of these. But I am going to flip it up on high at the end of the video just to kind of show you guys that these things will do some serious power, although I don't recommend running them that high. Now, normally when I do a video on one of these, they've got a variable in them, and the variable does choke them back a little bit. So it does pat them down some. As you've seen, most of these with a variable do 260, 280. As low as 250, but usually around 280, 290 PEP, like 120 average. So, that being said, we're going to start out low power, 14.9. Give it an audio here, see what it's drawing. Audio. And you can see right off the bat, it's drawing about 2 more amps than what they normally draw. Usually around 17 to 18 amps on these. You can already tell this one's drawing, what, 20, 21? Okay, average power, 1,000 watt slug, bottom scale. It's about a 60 watt dead key. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. About 150 or 160 average. And then PEP. Audio, check, 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 audio, check, 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 audio, check, 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 audio. About 320 PEP. He's actually going to be driving this with a Connex. So, I don't know who's tuned his Connex up or, you know, how much power it does, but he should see, you know, similar ratings if his Connex is similar to mine. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go on high. I'll be putting a 3 watt dead key in this guy, just for the sake of testing to show you guys the difference in the amount of current that it draws, the output, and everything else. This is 3 watts going in. No variable on this one. Bottom scale, 1,000 watt slug. You can see that dead key came way up. We're like 120 watts now. So the lack of a variable in there is making this carrier jump way, way, way up. And look at that, almost 200 watts average, just like a dual 2879. Let's see how much current draw we're getting. 25 amps. So not quite like a 2-pill C box right there, but similar on the average power. Now PEP. Audio, 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 audio. Check it out. So PEP didn't change. 320, 315, something like that. So that's what I mean when I tell people, you know, average and PEP, they both factor in. You know, we did that video that average power does make a distinct difference. You know, I did that test video, the difference in 2 radios that do the same amount of peak, but different amounts of average. However, as you guys saw in this video, I just tested this radio earlier with a 2-pill 2879C, and I think it was doing 400 watts PEP, 200 watts average, and it was drawing 30 amps. Test this amp, same radio, doing almost 200 watts average, and only doing 310 watts PEP, and drawing 25 amps. So it all factors in together. PEP, average, all that stuff works together. But back on track here, the topic of discussion. Hell of a good running amp right here without the variable. You know, it gained probably 20 or 30 watts average and 15, 20 watts PEP. Now obviously at the end of the video I was running it pretty hard. I probably wouldn't run it like that. That's kicking the piss out of it, but you know, 15, 16 watts average going in, 45, 50 watts PEP, shouldn't hurt it. What's going to hurt it is the high amount of average power. So, you know, going from it doing 135, 140 watts average, 150, whatever, to doing 200 watts average and drawing that much more current, it's going to generate a lot more heat. So that's why I try to tell people it is important to have a meter that reads average. But something like this, you know, his Connex should do a good job. All right, guys, that's it. Enough rambling on. Got carried away talking about this thing here. I haven't done one with without a variable before, so it was kind of interesting to see how it reacted. 2-pill 454. I do have one more of these if you guys are interested. Shoot me a text, 423-299-3535. Rooster in Tennessee. See you, bye.